What do you want to do?
I don't know. We don't have an intro. Welcome to podcast episode 16. This is the Glaziar Gaming. Fun fact for people out there, 30 million people have tried to create podcasts. Less than 10% of them have gone beyond episode 10, and 90% of those people haven't posted in the last 60 days. So we're here for you. No matter if we're putting out good content or not, we're at least here, you know. We can tweet that we showed up. We showed up. There's schools around the country right now that are giving automatic 50% grades to middle schoolers just for showing up. So,
God, I would be killed for that.
So, you know, we're at least 50% okay here, right? Just saying.
Oh, but we're not.
Well,
Right.
I am Mychal Glaziar. He is Joe Rybolt. We have Twitters. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. And we're here to talk to you about things that are very interesting, like sports and Marvel. This section that you clicked on here is sports, and we got some NBA news, NFL news for you. If you like what you have to hear, like what you see, what you have to hear today, you can't leave now that you're here. Just like, subscribe, and listen. Like, subscribe, and come see us next week. Follow us on Twitter for updates, all that good stuff, because we'll constantly be posting whether you want us to or not, or whether it's good content or not.
Yeah, it's the 7th today, so we got the 14th next, with the 21st after that, and then we have October 28th, which is a Thursday. Anything in store for the viewers October 28th?
On October 28th, because it's spooky season, we will be dressed up, which I picked up 2 tubs of costumes today. So we got some good ones.
I think those were clothes set out for the...
Yeah, it was outside this place called Salvation Army or something. But They were just sitting outside. You have to go around back to this like drop-off area. There were just tubs laying out. So I took a couple. Figured that was nice. That's
free stuff.
It's free spooky season, freaky season. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's get into it. First thing we got for you today is NBA news. I don't believe we have Ben Simmons news, but maybe he'll pop up at some point.
We'll throw his tag in there for the views.
Right. Since those are our most viewed clips.
We mentioned Ben Simmons, so.
All right. So preseason has started. Just like most sports, it's preseason, so I could not care less, I don't think.
Yeah, I could care less.
However, Minnesota Timberwolves have a player who is no longer a rookie. This is going into his sophomore year, and he
Jaden McDaniels?
Well, Jaden McDaniels. But Anthony Edwards. We mentioned in a previous episode, Anthony Edwards said his representation said he grew 2 inches. Yeah, he grew. He grew.
Finch said that.
When I watched a clip of him dunking, I did not know it was him.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I was like, you can tell, like he clearly grew. He's like,
it looked like a different player. I didn't realize that was Anthony. He didn't look like a guard. He didn't look like a guard.
Yeah, he was like small forward-esque.
Absolutely.
He just pushed Brandon Ingram out of the way too.
Well, Brandon Ingram's very thin.
Yeah,
6'11", 130.
That's giving him probably an extra 20 pounds, but
he's very skinny.
He's a big boy now.
He's big, and he's muscular. He's always been ripped.
Yeah, he had the NBA body coming in.
Yeah, that was like his big thing. He was ready for it.
Yeah, he's a thick boy.
Yeah, his big thing. He's just ready for the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
That's a requirement, but. Yeah, he looks big now. He doesn't even look like the same player, so I'm excited to see how he adjusts to the new weight, because it took Anthony Davis half a season when he hit that growth spurt.
Right.
He had to get used to it. And that's also when he started getting more hurt because his body wasn't used to it. So I'm interested to see how Anthony Edwards reacts to the weight change and the height change.
So the Wolves ran out a starting lineup of D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Josh Okogie, Jaden McDaniels, and Cat.
Yep.
With Beasley coming off the bench.
Love it. Love it.
So Chris Finch stated yesterday or something, they asked him basically what they feel of Beasley's role going forward. And Chris Finch said, usually for a good NBA team, you need to have 6 to 8 quality or 7 or 8 quality starters on your team. So if you think about that, Pat Bev could probably start. Beasley could probably start. Taurean Prince could probably start. So 6 to 8 is right kind of what we have. And he said, so you're looking to get 6 to 8 quality starters. And for Beasley, we think his best role could be a starter or it could not be a starter. I think his best role could be coming off the bench with the possibility of starting.
Sixth man.
And so I think Chris Finch basically said that's that bench player, like coming off the bench and being this just dynamic scorer versus the second unit is probably what he's going to.
Well, Patrick Beverly is not really a scorer. He's like a defensive player. So Patrick Beverly coming off the bench will help. Like Beasley will still be the better scoring option over him. You got Taurean Prince, who is like not really a scorer, 3-and-D. Yep. So Beasley's still the better scorer there. Then you got Naz Reid and
Vando.
Probably Vando or Bolmaro, depending on how they're doing in practice. Beasley is definitely the best scorer out of all those, which I think he could definitely pull the Jordan Clarkson somewhere between 14 and 17 points a game off the bench, which would be amazing. Personally, I think that'd be incredible. But I love Okogie starting because that Okogie and McDaniels for defense allows Cat, D'Lo, and Ant to run the offense.
With their numbers,
I still, if I had to pick, move McDaniels to the 3, Okogie to the bench, Cat to the 4, and make a move for a center. That's still what I want. I like the starting lineup that they're attempting to do. I think it's the best lineup we've had in the past couple of years.
Vando is also last season. Vando played really good next to Cat. Like they were like +9 or something on the floor, like per 100 possessions or 100 whatever.
So might do split minutes with McDaniels.
Yeah.
So, like instead of one running 30 minutes and the other getting 14, they each get 24 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that. So I like that starting lineup. It's really cool. So
you mentioned Pat Beverly coming off the bench.
Yeah, he got his first technical foul in the first game with the Wolves off the bench. And
that's what I like to see.
When asked about it, he basically said, "I don't give a shit."
Yeah. Bravo. I don't give a.
Yeah, he said bravo. Like. Which is, I mentioned it. He's the type of guy that if he's on the other team, you probably hate him. And if he's on your team, you probably love him. Every team needs a dog. And Patrick Beverly's always been called a dog. And Karl Anthony Towns and D'Lo have always been called soft. So get a dog in there. Teach Ant's kind of a dog.
Yeah, he's got that. Do you see Pat Bev made some comments on D'Angelo Russell and where he like sees him or like his potential?
I did not.
Pat Bev was asked like where do you see D'Angelo Russell, and he said basically like he's like, don't twist my words on this. Like I put him in that same kind of category as like Harden and Kyrie and stuff when it comes to like finishing like fourth quarters or something like that. Where like D'Angelo Russell is one of those things where he can go down and he can score like 16 points in a row and take over a fourth quarter. I mean, he did that with Brooklyn. So
I think he can. He's just not somebody you can count on to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's how I know it's kind of manipulating words, but like he can be one of those guys, but I don't think he's one of those guys that you can count on to be that guy. I think he's that guy that he does that one or two. If you go 2 playoff series, you can expect him to do that once in each series. Which might be the difference in winning the series or not.
Yeah, we've got different options that can close too. Like Cat can close, Ant can close. It just depends who's got the. I mean, you should put the weight on all 3 of those guys. They're all gonna be out there. So
yeah, another young, talented player. We actually mentioned this. Just another wonderful example of us being way ahead of the pack. We'll get to that in our NFL section. Oh, you know what? Let's just drop it now. We said the Cardinals were going to take first in their division before preseason. We said Cardinals were going to take first in their division. People thought we were ridiculous. We also said Steelers were going to take last in their division, and people thought we were stupid. So,
I mean, we are stupid. They're not wrong.
Yeah. We're stupid, but we are not dumb.
Smart. Yeah.
We may be stupid, but we're also dumb. But anyway, another player we talked about this in a previous episode. Is DeAndre Ayton worth the max? Well, the Suns and DeAndre Ayton have stopped contract negotiations because the Suns are unwilling to give him the max, which is what he believes he deserves.
Yeah, we talked about that. We said, I don't know. There's a lot of Suns fans that were going to take Ayton over Towns. I don't know why. Man, like, he had the one really good game in the Suns like playoff run. It was like 25 points, 21 rebounds, something like that. But then all his other games are average. Like, I don't know. Like, Nurkic could put up those same numbers. Those other games. Can't think of any, like, another example.
I mean, he was putting up numbers that Steven Adams regularly put numbers up like that in OKC.
Yeah. Valanciunas is similar. He could put up those numbers.
Yep.
So,
but that's the thing. So he's young. You assume he might be able to develop and get better. One thing. So I do think DeAndre Ayton's worth the max. However, they are already spending too much money on Chris Paul.
Yeah.
So they're way overpaying Chris Paul. So, and I have not been quiet about that. I've basically made a comment, sometimes passive aggressive, sometimes straightforward, about Chris Paul being overpaid in multiple episodes. And if they weren't paying him that money, I'd say just give Ayton the max now. The only reason they're questioning giving Ayton the max is because they have to give Chris Paul 40-some million a year over the next like 4 years.
Yeah.
You're like, you screwed you guys self over, because now if I'm Ayton, I just walk.
Yeah, go get a max somewhere else.
Yep, just because you're not getting the super max, get your max somewhere else. The Suns aren't gonna. I know this is hyperbole or whatever, predicting something way in the future. Suns aren't making it to the finals again, not with this team.
Yeah, so what? You can't, like, that team. So your home team is the only team that can give you a 5-year deal. So he's looking at at minimum, some team will pay him 120 for 4.
Right. But you decide to go to a team that's in a bigger market than Phoenix, and all of a sudden that money is made up in sponsorships.
Yeah.
You decide to go to you go to Sacramento because they're going to have money. Yeah. You go to Sacramento. Now you're in California. You get California sponsorships, and you're on a team that's young and upcoming. Or, you go to like a big market like that. Go to the Knicks.
Yeah. Boston.
Yeah. You can go to one of those teams and make tons of money back on sponsorships that you won't get in Phoenix anyway. So if I'm Ayton, I don't care about that. And I'm just like, fine. You don't want to give me a max? I'll get the max.
You don't want to give me 30? Like, you don't want to give me 30? Find a team that does easily.
Yep. And now see if you think Chris Paul, Booker without Ayton can take you to the play. Like, I don't get what the Suns are doing, and the fact that they're the ones initiating the stopping of negotiations just tells me Ayton's gone after this year. They don't have franchise tag in the NBA. You guys are prepare to have Ayton gone now. How old is Ayton? 24, 23?
Probably 24, yeah.
He just turned 23 in July.
Okay.
So he'll be 23 all season. You don't want to, even if you gave him a 4-year super max, I don't know if the Suns can give him super max total money in 4 years or whatever, but so even if the Suns gave him a 4-year max deal.
Did Booker get the super max? I don't know if you can have 2 super maxes per team.
So even more so than so you don't want to give him the 4-year max, and he's 23. Like, get him to age set, or he'll be 27 by the time that max deal is done.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird to me. But I brought this up because you had written down top 5 under 25.
Oh yeah, there was a I don't know who did this list.
It was a podcast. Was it a
podcast? Someone's podcast. Okay, well they did a top like 25 under 25. Top 25 under 25, something like that.
Yep.
And there was 2 big names missing from the list. Right. The step back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
fan-sided, which I believe is a website. So our final 25 under 25 list is up. So, it looks pretty good. Let me just read the top 10 names off. All right. So you got Luka, number 1, then Tatum, Zion, Trae Young, SGA, Bam, Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, DeAndre Ayton, and Brandon Ingram. Okay, you go down the list and you get down to 25, and 25 is Colin Sexton.
Oh, don't forget above Colin Sexton is Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter, Gary Trent Jr.,
DeAndre Hunter, Mychal Robinson, Tyrese Halliburton,
Cade
Jared
Cunningham, who has never played a game in the NBA.
Yeah.
Jared
Jackson,
11
Jared
is
Allen.
OG Anunoby.
Yeah, OG.
So, there's some questionable things here, but there's two big names that we thought could be easily top 10 worthy. One of them should probably be top 4 worthy, and that is Anthony Edwards is not on this list.
Okay. I don't know if I'd put him top 4 worthy.
No, not him, but Jaylen Brown.
Oh,
who is like an established young player. He averages 24 points a game. Who's 24 years old
and plays good defense, which you don't get from wings a lot of the time now. Young players too.
Great two-way player. And
he played point guard for a couple series, so he's a guy that can guard the 1 through the 4 for you and play the 1 through the 3 for you. So yeah. I was appalled by this. Like, Anthony Edwards should be on this list. Anthony Edwards is better than Kevin Huerter. He's better than Colin Sexton. He's better than Gary Trent Jr. He's better than DeAndre Hunter. He's better than Mychal Robinson. I like him better than Jaren Jackson. I think you can argue that one. And then most of the other guys above there, I think, all have stronger arguments of being better than Anthony Edwards right now.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards is in his second year.
Exactly. So except Cade Cunningham, you can't. What's your argument for Cade Cunningham right now?
He hasn't played a single.
And by the way, for those wondering, I thought the same thing when Trevor Lawrence was being put in the top players under 25 right now. Like, he hadn't played a snap at that time, and now he's 0-4. Like, Cade Cunningham might be 25 points a game on a team that wins 13 games. The Cade shouldn't be on this list yet, and no Anthony Edwards. So I had my theory discussion on this. So the step back is before even looking at what this page was, I said this is clearly an Eastern Conference fan, because look at the amount of Eastern Conference players on this list.
Yeah.
I thought it was because Jaylen Brown's not out there. I thought this is clear an Eastern Conference fan who doesn't like the Celtics. That was my theory. I was like, this is an Eastern Conference fan who doesn't like the Celtics. So he's a rival team of the Celtics.
Okay.
And I was just thinking, I was like, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Like, there's barely any Western Conference teams or players. You have guys that are the second. So there's 4 Hawks players. There's 4 Hawks players on that list.
Yeah.
This is clearly an Eastern Conference fan because they're clearly not watching.
There should be 2. Those 2 should be on there.
Yeah.
They're top 2.
Yep. Absolutely. Trae Young and John Collins should both be on this list. But Kevin Huerter and DeAndre Hunter, I'm sure there are plenty of Western Conference young players under 25 that could be on there. But anyway, the reason I thought that was just because of those reasons. I did some more look into the step back. They are Cleveland Cavaliers fans.
Okay.
So there you go. So LeBron James fan with the Cleveland Cavaliers, had rivalry with the Celtics when he was on the Cavs.
Okay.
And I think that's it. They're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan that liked the Cavs when LeBron was on there. He had the issue with the Celtics. The Celtics won with their big 3. I think that's my thing. They're Eastern Conference fan who doesn't like the Celtics, probably because the Celtics beat LeBron and took Kyrie. So that was my theory, and I'm pretty sure that was proven with my little research that I did there.
Sure. Yeah. Good job. So our big question marks on that one were
Anthony Edwards,
Jaylen Brown.
No reason Anthony Edwards is on there, and a guy that hasn't played a game shouldn't be. No. Especially because I'm very critical of Cade. Cade going into last college season was not projected to be the number 1 overall pick. People just randomly in a COVID year thought. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if Cade's good, but obviously it'll be good. But I don't know. I think having Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter on there instead of Anthony Edwards, instead of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is better than I think a lot of people, if Jaylen Brown was healthy, if you knew he plays the whole season, I think a lot of people take him over Shea. I think a lot of people take him over De'Aaron Fox has a lot of question marks from people around the league right now. I don't know why. I think De'Aaron Fox is really good. I think a lot of people take him over OG.
Oh yeah. OG's probably too high on this list.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep. So there's just, we wanted to talk about that because that was absolutely insane that Jaylen Brown wasn't on this list. As Timberwolves fans, we're upset that Anthony Edwards isn't on there because he probably should be. But as Timberwolves fans, I'm more upset that Jaylen Brown wasn't on there.
Yeah, I think I'm fine if people don't want to put Ant on there, because I think a lot of things with Ant, if Ant sees this list, he's just gonna be like, all right,
He's the best baseball player. He's the best basketball player. He's the best football player.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he saw, when that Rookie of the Year happened last year, I think he took that and he was like, all right, now you guys got to deal with me, like.
He also, that was his way of realizing, okay, I'm on the Timberwolves. We're not going to get the marketing that a ball, LaMelo had Lonzo and his dad giving him marketing for 3-4 years before he even got in the league. So I think Ant understands the politics of the NBA a little bit more now, and probably doesn't care at all. So
yeah, probably it's just like, we got to win for us to get some kind of recognition.
Yeah. Well, that was it for basketball. Preseason, we don't have a ton, but we did want to cover some Minnesota Timberwolves stuff because we are focused primarily on Minnesota stuff because, that's where we are. First topic in the NFL is we have a couple big free agents, or almost. One of them almost was a free agent. So it was originally reported that Stephon Gilmore was cut by the Patriots.
Yep, released.
However, before he was officially released, the Panthers made a deal and traded a 6th-round pick. For those of you who don't know, they just traded for CJ Henderson from the Jaguars as well. So to me, this is saying the Panthers think that they are playoff/Super Bowl contenders. They're win now mode, because you're trying, CJ Henderson wasn't good enough for them, so they went and got another corner. So they're finding the weakness on their team. They're making that better, and they think Sam Darnold's good enough to at least win them the game. And without CMC, they clearly think that their attack's still good enough. So I thought that was cool. I like the fit on the Panthers. I think he is a fit for that team. However, I thought he would potentially go to the Packers, the Chiefs, or I tweeted out another team. But there were a couple teams I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be better to not see. First 3 things that came to my head, I was like, better to see him not getting released and getting signed by the the Packers or the Chiefs or the Bucks.
Yeah.
So
everybody thought Chiefs Bucks right away. I thought he would be a great fit on the Chiefs, but mainly because his first game would have been
Hughes. So.
Yeah. But then I thought Packers would be a thing just because they're a contender, best team in their division right now.
Yeah, they tend to go. If only Aaron Rodgers was there long term,
The Packers, however, did sign somebody else, which was Jaylon Smith. Jaylon Smith, who I loved coming out of college. His horrific injury made him drop. He was he was supposed to be a top 10 pick, and his knee, but ended up doing really well. However, if you've been watching the Cowboy games this year, which a lot of people do,
darkest team.
I don't know if it was Dan Quinn's system being more complicated than what he's had in the past, but he did look a little lost. However, I think he would have been able to pick it up in the future. I think this was more a money thing to try to make sure, because right now Zeke is a bit overpaid and they have a lot of high paid players. I think this was just a saving money for the future, because they're on the hook for his contract this season, but not next season or the following seasons after that. It's completely voided. So I think this is all money saved so that they can eventually sign Mike Parsons, Trayvon Diggs.
I think I think they're more obviously the Cowboys know the most about his health status compared to everyone. So I think there may possibly have been a little bit of maybe a health question in there.
I hope that's not the case.
But
cutting a guy after you give him an extension because of a health thing.
Right. So, but I think the Packers, it's a low risk, high reward.
Right, and they don't have to pay the majority of a salary. They can pay him the minimum because he still gets $9 million or something from the Cowboys. So yeah, smart move by the Packers. Sucks as a Vikings fan. Sucks because he's good and because he's going to a team that needed linebacker help. So I'm glad, because I'm happy for him though. Very happy for him. Speaking of the Vikings and their linebackers though, Anthony Barr has missed 17 games or 18 games straight.
He hasn't played professional football in 13 months.
Yeah. So
over a year.
Expected to be back, as well as Dalvin Cook, except Dalvin already is talking about how he will be playing at a different pace because he is still injured and he doesn't.
He's not 100%. Well, I have to play him in fantasy because my team sucks. So regardless of it, if he's 100%, he's going to be in there for me.
Well, I don't like when players go into games saying they're hurt. It's just to me, it's like, oh, if I do bad, now you know why.
Yeah.
Or for me, it's like, okay, great, you're playing in the game, so give it your all.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I mean, if only the Vikings had like a backup running back that is fully capable of starting a game.
And a rookie, and being 1-3, if they could, maybe try experimenting, throwing a rookie out there that had high explosive potential that's available now.
Yeah, Kenne's back now, right?
Kenne is back.
Yeah.
I don't think they've activated him though.
I thought Amir got cut, so I thought
Amir is back. So Kenne could. They cut Wap Fillier to keep Amir. They could. So. Leave Dalvin on the bench again for one more week until he hopefully feels 100%. Run Madison and then see what Kenne does. Kenne have some explosiveness that would be good for the team?
Yeah, nobody knows what they're going to get with Kenne. If Amir's out there, he's going to do a little dink and dunk, or he's going to do a flat, or he's going to pass block. That's what Amir's going to do.
If they try to run him between the tackles, it will be a 2-yard gain max.
Yeah.
We know what he has. You're 1-3. I know every game from here on out is must win, but it's also a good time to try something.
I
get Zimmer, I know, is like the hottest seat of all coaches besides maybe Urban Meyer or something like that, but
I mean,
he does like hot seats. So Zimmer does want to protect his job, but give it a shot, man. Just try Kenne out. You don't have to put that, because I don't want Dalvin to get further hurt pushing it.
Yeah,
it's like with Barr, get out there. Just get out there. You're getting paid so much money and you aren't playing football.
Oh yeah. He's got that kind of a big 1-year deal essentially, and then the rest of his stuff is void. So yeah, when it comes to Barr, I know Andre Patterson made a statement. He's like, we're gonna get Barr back, which is going to basically change what we can do on defense.
It sounds like Barr will only be playing 2 downs as well. Vigil will be playing downs 1 and 2, and then on downs 3 and 4, Barr will go in, or third down, Barr will go in.
At least he's out there.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, it's going to change what we can do when it comes to like pass rushing too.
Exactly. That's what they said. Barr is a better pass rusher than Vigil, and he's a better pass coverage than Vigil. So that's why they want Vigil there for running downs and Barr in for passing downs.
Yeah.
So that's the plan for the future. However, here's a little inside information that you won't get on national news. I've listened to other Minnesota sports stations. They haven't talked about this. So if you're listening to this podcast, this is some information that other people haven't talked about. I've been paying attention to Vikings practices, watching some clips and films that come out and trying to get some information out there. There's a lot of times where Anthony Barr is kind of by himself. And I don't know if that's a sign. I don't want to read too much into something, I like to get to know the locker room, because the locker room determines if you go to a game you go to a stadium and watch a game, you can feel, and when you're watching the players warm up, you can feel which team thinks is more confident. You can feel which team has good chemistry. You can see which players are good friends. It's very obvious. Cam Dantzler, Chris Boyd, Cam Dantzler and Justin Jefferson are always by each other. So it's clear that they're good friends because they're always by each other.
Right.
We're in interviews.
JJ and Thielen are like that too. Thielen and Kirk. There's some connections you can clearly see there.
Anthony Barr is by himself a lot. A lot of times he's by himself, or they'll be in like a group of 3 and he'll be one of the 3, and then the 2 will split off. So I don't know if he likes to be by himself. Maybe the other players know he's on his way out after this year, or maybe they're sick of him being. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not trying to read too much into it. It might be nothing. That was one thing that caught my eye, and something I think we should pay attention to, because that chemistry carries onto the field. And I would hate for Barr to go in and not.
Yeah, him and Kendricks have been really close too. So.
That was one of the players I saw split from him today.
So
is Kendricks completely, they were walking and Kendricks just, and Barr was still back here. Yeah, I think it's something to pay attention to. If you see a call being made, like a defensive audible by Kendricks or Harry, you might see. I'm going to be paying attention to Barr's reaction to see if he makes an automatic change.
Well, because Barr's the mic, so typically. So, or like
I think doesn't Kendricks?
The Barr used to.
I wouldn't make Barr the mic anymore.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
mean,
reason
Kendricks
he
has
hasn't
been
played
out
in
there
a year.
long
He doesn't
time.
know
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
So, yeah, when Kendricks makes an defensive audible, I want to see how Barr reacts. So, yeah, just something to pay attention to. Haven't seen other people talk about it, so I wanted to bring that up for people that were interested. Speaking of Vikings, though, as we're still on the topic, their game this week is against the Motor City Kitties. The Detroit Lions are playing the Vikings. Vikings are something like they are 9-point favorites.
Nice.
They opened at 9 and then they dropped down to 6. So a lot of early money went onto the Lions. Now they're back up to 9.
Probably with the Barr and the Cook news.
So they're something like 9-point favorites. So they're expected to win. I get why, but the Lions almost beat the Ravens.
Yeah, they're playing hard. The Lions are playing hard.
Right, they play hard. They have good players, not great players. There's a couple that I really like. And like I've mentioned before, I do think the Lions are a fun team to watch a lot of the time. They're just, heartbreaking for their fans. I get that.
Right.
I think it's going to be closer than that 9. I don't think with the Vikings often play down to their opponent, and the Vikings have been giving games away.
Yeah.
They've been losing close games in traditional Vikings fashion, just super heartbreaking. The one thing that shouldn't happen is the one thing that's happening. Oh, it's a short field. It's an easy field goal. He's made this field goal 100 times.
Right.
Shank. The Browns should have beat them by 30.
Yeah, the Browns. We didn't deserve to win the Browns game, but
they should have beat the Cardinals. They should have beat the Bengals.
Yeah. We didn't deserve to win the Browns game, but we also should have had a chance.
Right, but if Baker hits 3 of those throws that he missed,
if Baker doesn't throw the ball behind OBJ after
there was one ball where OBJ gave up. Baker would have hit it, but OBJ stops running. I wanted to point that out. It wasn't all on Baker.
There was one though that OBJ was running and he had to reach back and it was past him. So
right. So we didn't deserve the Browns win, but they shouldn't be as bad as they are. I think it's going to be closer. I think the Lions are going to keep it close. There is a chance the Vikings lose this game.
Absolutely.
I think no team is ever a guaranteed loss. Maybe if the Chiefs and Jets played right now, I would say it's a guaranteed loss.
For the Chiefs?
For the Chiefs, absolutely. Yep. Zach Wilson, 7 touchdown passes, first half, bench him. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Lions have a couple running backs that they can run, but I don't think I thought the Vikings would have way better run defense than they currently have, and they just don't. Their defense hasn't really gotten as good as I thought they would be, and their offense has been extremely underwhelming. I mentioned this really early on. Clint Kubiak's not a good coordinator.
Here's another thing. So we used to run play action 29% of the time, and that has been cut in half to 14%. You have the best play action quarterback in the league, and you're not using that tool.
I'm glad you brought that up, because Brandon Staley of the Chargers mentioned in an interview today, you do not have to have a good run game to run off play action. It's all about mentality. You need to have good blocking. You need to have the right mentality to run pass play action. You have to have a quarterback with a good arm. So even if they don't think if Dalvin's not running as hard and Alexander Madison isn't as big of a threat to the defense, you can still run play action. Kirk is very good on play action, and play action is just diversion. At least if that play action's there, you might get one defender to bite. You might not get the defense to bite, but you might get the one defender that you need to get that play.
The next thing is to find which defender is guarding one of your players, and then abuse that. So.
And Kirk's good enough to read that, and if he's not, he'll just chuck it up to Thielen.
Yeah.
Or he'll dump it off and I don't know. We should be running more play action, and our play calling has been terrible. So I think the Vikings win, but don't count out the Lions.
Here's another thing. It being the 0-4 Lions and them not having a Myles Garrett
or Marvin Jones.
They don't have a Myles Garrett on their side. I think this would be a great opportunity to get a lot of Christian Darrisaw snaps.
Yeah, let's do it.
A ton of it. He can't be worse than Rashad Hill.
Maybe try Wyatt Davis at center too.
Yeah, or guard. I don't know. Ole's been doing okay, but
yeah, give it a shot. Like I said, now's a good time to experiment. You're 1-3 against an 0-4 team.
Put Mason Cole out there. Put Wyatt Davis, Mason Cole, Christian Darrisaw out there.
Yep, with Kenne and Madison as your two backs.
Yep, and then put Chris Herndon. Have Chris Herndon do something because you traded a 4th round pick for him.
Right, please. I think a lot of people have talked about this. This may be Zimmer's last game if they lose.
Yeah, it hasn't been impressive. They could be 4-0.
This isn't Zimmer's fault in my opinion. Kubiak is.
Yeah.
The offense is just, even when they looked good, they didn't look good. I don't know how to phrase it, but
yeah, I mean, they were trading blows with the Cardinals, and then so first
I do that in the back alley behind my house.
Oh, well, I mean, so Kirk leads them right down the field. Game 1 versus Cincy, Dalvin fumbles. Kirk leads them down versus Arizona. Joseph shanks it, slaughtered the Seahawks, and then quite possibly the worst play called game versus the Browns ever. So.
Yep. After the first drive, they never made it into the end zone.
First 3 games weren't horrible, but they could have been better. But then the Browns game was just bad.
Yeah, the Browns game, they had 1 trip into the red zone. That's terrible.
We scored the JJ touchdown.
Do you think Vikings win or lose against the Lions?
I'm gonna go with a win.
I'm going with a win as well. We have a couple more games we wanted to talk about. Broncos versus Steelers. The Steelers are favored in this game. It is at Pittsburgh. I think Broncos win.
Yep, I'll take the Broncos as well.
I think the Broncos are playing great defense, mistake-free football, and we've mentioned it all year. The Steelers and Seahawks are the most overrated teams in their divisions, and it's not necessarily because they're bad. It's just they're not as good as their competition right now, and they have a couple key positions that their offensive line isn't good, and they can't protect a quarterback who's not playing well. Their receivers drop a lot of balls, and their defense, which is supposed to be the shining light of the Steelers, hasn't been playing to the level that they could play at.
Yeah, I think both teams have spotlights on each side, and what I mean by that is there's the one player on each side of the ball, whether it's TJ Watt or Russell Wilson, on either side or whatever, that are if they can't carry that side of that side of the team, then they're just not going to do anything. They're not going to be able to be competitive. So if Russell Wilson can't do his stuff, the Seahawks aren't going to be competitive. Or if TJ Watt can't do his stuff, the Steelers aren't going to be competitive. So there's more to it, but
you kind of go as your star player goes. Yeah. Most of the time, you go as your quarterback goes.
That happens a lot with the Seahawks because they got good receivers, they got a decent running back, but it's hard to get going when they're not.
Well, that's the thing is the Steelers have good receivers, but they have a lot of drops.
Yeah,
they have 2 good tight ends. You often go as your quarterback goes, and Ben Roethlisberger is 2 years beyond retirement.
Yeah,
and their backups aren't any better.
Yep,
Dwayne Haskins and Mason Rudolph,
not great.
Next year when they have Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, did you see that whole thing?
No.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers winked at Mike Tomlin, and they were kind of flirting back and forth, and Mike Tomlin smiled right back, and Aaron Rodgers is potentially free agent next year.
Well, I mean, he'll be in purple though.
Yeah, following in Favre's steps.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger is gone after this year. The team's already built for, if you placed Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers, they're probably first in their division right now. That's all the talk was today.
You can say that to a lot of teams, though.
Right. You can say that on a good amount of teams, but it's not as good as when Brady entered the Bucs, but it would be a way better team with Rodgers there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Same with the Vikings. But Steelers don't have an offensive line that can protect him. So
if getting Aaron Rodgers means we get to cut Chad Beebe to free up that number 12 jersey, or no, D.D. Westbrook now is 12. If we have to cut D.D. Westbrook to get that,
no, Rodgers will switch his number to 4.
Okay, all right,
because 1 + 2.
Yeah. 1 times 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I don't maths.
This is not a math podcast.
But we keep trying to tell people that, and they're always in the comment sections oh, please refresh me on the Pythagorean theorem. I'm like, it's not about
do sine and cosine. It's no, we don't do that here.
What about the standard deviation? Can we go over that? No, stop.
Show me a parabola.
This is not a math podcast.
Show me a parabola.
But yeah, Broncos over Steelers. I think that's one of those games that they have wrong at the moment. Steelers are favorites. Last game, Titans Jags.
This one is more so. We just brought this one up because like it's just Titans versus the Jags. You know, like you've got to.
And a lot of the other matchups we're not 100% sure on what's going to happen.
So this one, the Broncos Steelers could go either way. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. But the Titans Jags should go one way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really think the Titans should just grind out a win.
Yeah, they should just. You know, they should just back their butt against the wall or like a stool.
Just like back it up. Just back it up.
Right.
D-backs, offensive linemen, hands out.
Yep.
Smile on your face. You know?
Yep.
Maybe.
And then look around a little bit.
Yeah, and if all, for the Jags, if you lose another game, cancel your meeting Monday. It's
exactly. You got to own it. You got to own it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Own it, make like your own restaurant. Just own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Titans versus Jags. Titans should run away. Ryan Tannehill after the first week looked terrible. Ever since then, Titans have looked really good.
Yep.
They beat the Seahawks, which I mentioned last week. I think Seahawks are overrated. Like that's why I wasn't excited about the Vikings win over them because it's like it's a win, but it's against a team I don't think's that great.
Yeah.
Titans had to do a comeback win over the Seahawks. Had a bad first week. I don't know. So. I do think I think they beat the Jags.
Right.
It's going to be off the back of Derrick Henry.
Yep.
350 yards, 14 touchdowns. something like that. Sounds about right.
Like you said earlier, they just got to grind it out.
Yeah, just grind it out. Just really, really grind it out. Very, very important.
Set the bar high. Go to that bar.
Mm-hmm.
And sit
own
there.
That bar. Own that bar.
Own it. Yep. But just sit there and have a good time by grinding it out.
Absolutely. Relax. Take the day off. Relax. Grind it out. But yeah, we don't have too much to say on that game. I really think the key matchup is Derrick Henry versus the entire defense. The Jags don't really have anybody to stop them. The Jags don't really have any. It's the Trevor Lawrence show now. And the Titans defense, while still not great, doesn't really have to defend anyone. The Jags have so many. There are a couple teams that their deficiencies, there's just so much more than one position, and I feel terrible for those teams. The Browns were that way for a long time, and then they decided, all right, we're going to spend a whole bunch of money and make some trades so that we have 20 draft picks a year.
One of these guys are going to stick.
And he did. But yeah, that's all we got there. I think that's all we got for sports in general.
Yeah, I got one thing. The Yankees are out of the playoffs, so...
That's good news for everyone.
Everyone can cheer there.
Yeah. Good news for everyone. Yankees are out of the playoffs. The only sad thing is Judge isn't there. Can we let Judge play still? That'd be fine. Yeah, my tongue is swollen. I feel like I have like a swollen lymph node. Hurts.
You need me to lick it?
Yeah, if I do this, I can feel the pain in my tongue.
Should do the best of a podcast like that.
Look like I'll fucking try him.
Try.
So anyway, that's all we got. Do you have anything else, sports-wise?
Hockey starts in 5 days.
No one gives a shit.
Yep, that's all I got.
I'm sorry, hockey fans, but just
we're not a hockey podcast. We're not a baseball podcast.
Fuck hockey, man. I'd rather talk about baseball, tennis, or golf. I'd rather you force me to talk about those than willingly talk about hockey.
I like golf highlights. I
can watch golf and tennis. I can watch soccer highlights. I can watch a whole day's worth of golf. I cannot watch one period of hockey without just I want to go walk outside. I want to go outside. I want to read a book. I want to clean the house.
Watch paint dry.
Jump off my deck. Hockey, man. So yeah, hockey's starting. Have fun for the people that want to watch that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this podcast, this was the end of our sports section. Check out our Marvel section. If you already came from Marvel, welcome. Thank you. I said that last week. Welcome at the end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. If you didn't enjoy, hit that dislike button so then we know. Otherwise,
but still follow.
But still subscribe so that you can let us know how bad we are every week. And also reach out to us on Twitter. I know that the Steelers Broncos is a discussion that I think would get some reaction. So please let us know your opinion on our picks this week.
We have gotten the most interaction from Philly fans, so Pittsburgh, we could get some more.
I mean, Philly fans are mostly Eagles fans, but
sad for them.
Eagles might have a good game this week, but
who cares?
Who cares? Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, kiss me. All right. And, just have a great day. If you're not having a good day, make it a great one. Make it a great weekend. It's spooky season, so maybe hide behind a corner and jump out and scare somebody. Just have some fun. Enjoy your life. You look amazing. So
you don't need to wear clothes.
Absolutely.
I'm talking to you, not.
I definitely need to wear clothes, but the people watching, if they feel like being naked, more power to them. But for the people watching, you look amazing. You truly look amazing. You don't, look. But yeah, so thank you so much. I very much appreciate every one of you. Make it a great day. GG. GG.